Most men think attraction is built through looks, status, or confidence. But the truth is deeper and more subtle. What truly pulls a woman in, what makes her remember a man long after the moment has passed, are the invisible emotional triggers she can't control. The ones that reach her subconscious before she can even explain why. You've probably seen it happen. She says she's not interested, yet keeps checking your stories. She says you're just a friend. But her eyes soften when you speak with calm confidence. These moments aren't random. They're emotional reactions her logic can't suppress. Women might hide many things, but emotional attraction isn't one of them. And that's the paradox most men never notice. Women may control their words, but not their emotions. You can't talk your way into her heart, but you can trigger feelings that make her heart recognize something rare, something she feels before she can label it. In this video, we'll reveal 9 hidden emotional triggers that activate this deep connection, step by step. But before we begin, remember this. These triggers aren't tricks. They're reflections of masculine presence, stability, and emotional strength. When you live them, you don't need to perform them. Let's start with a truth that every high-value man understands. Emotional attraction begins where validation ends. When you stop chasing approval, you immediately become mysterious. Why? Because mystery forces her imagination to fill the silence. And imagination is a powerful amplifier. It turns curiosity into desire. Next, consider the power of emotional contrast. When you combine strength with gentleness, discipline with humor, or silence with presence, you create tension. That tension makes a woman feel alive. It's the same energy she feels when watching a hero who can both protect and challenge her. But it doesn't stop there. Real emotional triggers go beyond behavior. They touch something primal: security, admiration, uncertainty, longing. And when a man understands how to balance all of them naturally, he stops trying to impress and starts to influence. So, throughout this video, we'll go deeper into each of these 9 triggers, what they mean, why they work, and how you can embody them effortlessly. You'll begin to notice subtle signals, her tone changing, her laughter becoming softer, her eyes lingering longer. These aren't coincidences. They're the signs of emotional resonance. Stay until the end, because the last trigger is the one most men completely miss, the one that separates emotional attraction from obsession. Remember, women respond to how you make them feel, not what you say. So stop guessing what she wants to hear, and start learning what she can't ignore. Before we start, a quick reminder. My complete Stoic couple course is now live at thestoiccouple.podia.com. If you've been learning from these videos, that's just the surface. Inside the course, we go deeper, mastering attraction, understanding female psychology, and rebuilding your mindset from the inside out. Join once, and you're in for life, with lifetime access to all future courses, books, and new lessons. Plus, you'll be part of our private Stoic community, a brotherhood where men like you grow together in discipline, power, and self-control. It's available in English and Spanish, and you can enroll instantly at thestoiccouple.podia.com or click the link below. Enroll once, grow forever. Let's begin. Number 1. The power of emotional space. Every woman is drawn to mystery, but not the kind that comes from playing games. The real mystery that captures her emotions is born from a man's calm detachment. The kind that says, "I'm not here to prove myself. I'm here because I choose to be." When a man can walk away from attention, it silently communicates value. Women sense that energy immediately. It creates curiosity, and curiosity is the seed of attraction. Most men destroy mystery by oversharing, by chasing, or by showing they need constant validation. But when you learn to embrace silence, to pause before replying, to give her space to miss your presence, you awaken a psychological tension that she can't hide. Her mind starts to wonder, what is he thinking? Why isn't he like the others? That question alone is powerful because it shifts the dynamic. You stop being predictable, and predictability kills emotion. Instead, you become a story unfolding slowly. And every woman loves a story she can't fully read. This doesn't mean ignoring her or acting cold. It means mastering balance. You stay kind, but not needy. Present, but not available at all times. When you do that, you allow her emotions to breathe. That space becomes your silent advantage. She'll start checking your social media more, rereading old messages, recalling your words. She won't tell you this, but her attention begins to orbit around your absence. That's the paradox. By doing less, you make her feel more. And the reason it works is simple. Emotional space forces her to invest energy in understanding you. Every unanswered question becomes an emotional hook. Women are emotional detectives by nature. They feel before they think, and they chase emotional puzzles that promise depth. So the next time you're tempted to over-explain, resist. The man who controls the pace of connection controls the direction of attraction. When you become that man, patient, composed, quietly confident, you stop being an option and become a mystery she wants to solve. In her heart, she might not say it out loud, but she'll feel it deeply. There's something about him I can't forget. And that's the first hidden emotional trigger, the one that sets everything else in motion. Number 2, how strength creates emotional safety. Every woman craves to feel admiration toward the man she's with. Not because of what he owns, but because of what he embodies. Strength, in its purest form, isn't loud, aggressive, or controlling. It's calm, grounded, and self-assured. When a man walks through life with quiet confidence, when his actions match his words and his emotions stay steady no matter what happens, a woman feels something she can't hide. Admiration. And admiration is one of the most powerful emotional triggers that exist. It doesn't just make her attracted to you, it makes her feel safe with you. You see, a woman can't relax around a man she doesn't trust emotionally. If you're easily shaken, if you overreact to her moods, if your confidence depends on her response, she will subconsciously pull away. But when you remain composed, when you keep your frame even when she tests you, her emotions shift. She starts to see you differently. She feels that you're not seeking approval. You are the approval. That shift alone changes everything. It's not your words that move her. It's your calm, your silence after chaos, your ability to stay kind without being weak. This balance of power and peace makes her feel secure enough to open up emotionally. In that moment, you become the anchor she didn't know she needed. And here's the secret most men never realize. Admiration always comes before love. A woman can like you without respecting you, but she can't love you without admiration. When she looks at you and feels that subtle sense of awe, that deep respect for how you carry yourself, how you handle life's challenges, she begins to see you as a man of depth, a man of purpose. And the more you stay centered in that energy, the more her emotions follow your lead. It's not about dominance, it's about direction. Women are naturally drawn to men who create emotional order, who can turn tension into peace just by how they speak or move. So when life tests you, don't react impulsively. Breathe, observe, and respond from stillness. That stillness communicates power. It tells her you've seen chaos before, and you're not afraid of it. And that realization, that sense of safety and admiration, becomes addictive to her heart. She won't show it openly, but you'll see it in her eyes, in her tone, in how she lingers longer when she says goodbye. That's the hidden language of admiration, and once you understand it, you'll never chase attention again. because attention naturally follows strength. Number 3. Why emotional tension creates desire. Most men think women want comfort all the time, but emotional comfort without challenge quickly turns into boredom. What truly awakens a woman's attraction is a man who challenges her, not through arguments or dominance, but through the way he makes her feel something unexpected. When a woman meets a man who doesn't automatically agree with everything she says, who stands his ground calmly but firmly, her emotions light up. Why? Because emotional tension is energy, and attraction feeds on that energy. Every time she tests you, what she's really doing is searching for your edges, wondering, can this man handle me? Can he stay grounded when I'm emotional? When you stay calm under that pressure, you send her a message she can't ignore. You're not afraid of her emotions. That's when she feels both safe and intrigued at the same time. It's a paradox she can't resist. You're not trying to control her, but you won't let her control you either. You challenge her to rise emotionally, to match your stability, and that makes her respect you deeply, even if she doesn't admit it right away. A man who challenges her emotionally isn't the one who argues. He's the one who refuses to be shaken. He listens without reacting. He responds with clarity instead of anger. He knows when to speak, and more importantly, when to walk away. That emotional discipline creates a charge, a silent spark that keeps her wondering what's going on inside your mind. Every time you hold your frame, she feels it. Every time you say, no, with calm confidence, her emotions spike, not because she's angry, but because she's stimulated. Women are emotional by nature, and when a man gives her that balance of tension and safety, he becomes unforgettable. She feels alive around him, uncertain, yet drawn in. That tension becomes addictive because it mirrors the excitement of true attraction. She never knows exactly what you'll say, but she trusts it'll come from strength. So don't rush to please. Don't try to smooth every rough edge. Those edges are what give you emotional gravity. The man who always agrees fades into the background. The man who respectfully challenges becomes the one she thinks about at night. And this is the truth. A woman doesn't fall for a man who gives her everything she wants. She falls for the man who gives her what she needs to grow emotionally. When you learn to balance warmth with firmness, empathy with boundaries, you become both her peace and her storm. That's what keeps her heart awake. And that, brother, is the power of emotional tension, the third hidden trigger that makes her unable to forget you. Number 4. How emotional stillness draws her in. There's something magnetic about a man who is fully present. When you speak, he listens. When you look at him, his eyes don't wander. His energy doesn't rush, doesn't beg, doesn't chase. It anchors. That presence alone can quiet a woman's overthinking mind and awaken something deeper in her heart. You see, in today's world, most people are distracted, glued to their phones, lost in thought, or emotionally scattered. But when a man enters the room with stillness, he instantly stands out. His calm becomes contagious. Women feel that difference before they even process it logically. It's not about staring intensely or pretending to meditate. It's about being completely grounded in the moment, in your body, in your breath, in your awareness. When you're present, you stop trying to perform and you start being. That authenticity radiates confidence without effort. And when a woman senses that kind of grounded energy, her emotions react almost instinctively. She feels safe, yet curious, relaxed, yet drawn in. It's as if your presence gives her permission to be herself too. Most men don't realize how rare that is, to simply be there without needing anything in return. When you're present, you're not waiting for her approval. You're observing, connecting, and enjoying the moment for what it is. That emotional neutrality disarms her. It tells her, you don't need to impress me. just be real. And that's powerful because it removes pressure and builds trust. Presence is also deeply masculine because it shows control, not over her, but over yourself. When you can stay focused even when she tests you, when you can hold eye contact without flinching, when you can listen without interrupting, you're showing a level of mastery most men never reach. It's emotional leadership, and women can feel it. They'll often say things like, "I don't know why, but I feel calm around him," or "He makes me feel seen." That's not luck, it's presence. It's the art of tuning into the moment so deeply that she feels your energy without you saying a word. The paradox is that presence can't be faked. You can't rehearse it or force it. You have to cultivate it through patience, discipline, and purpose. When you live with intention, your energy naturally becomes still, and that stillness becomes magnetic. So next time you're with her, slow down. Breathe before you speak. Listen not to reply, but to understand. Let the silence do the talking. Because in that silence, she'll feel what words can't express, that she's in the presence of a man who truly sees her. And that experience, my friend, is one of the rarest emotional triggers she can never hide. Number 5, why not seeking approval builds obsession. Nothing weakens a man faster in a woman's eyes than the constant need for validation. Every time you try to prove your worth, explain yourself too much, or chase her response, you quietly tell her, "Your opinion defines me." And the moment she feels that, attraction begins to fade. Because here's the truth. Women are not drawn to men who need their approval. They're drawn to men who give themselves approval first. The man who knows who he is, who doesn't bend his values to fit in or please, instantly stands out. He doesn't beg for attention. He commands respect through his calm self-assurance. That reversal, the act of not seeking validation, flips a psychological switch in her mind. Suddenly, she's the one wondering, does he like me? What does he think of me? And that's when the dynamic changes completely. You move from being the pursuer to being the standard. Women may never admit it openly, but emotional obsession is born from uncertainty. Not cruelty, but controlled unpredictability. When a man's energy doesn't revolve around her reactions, she begins to crave it even more. She starts to chase the approval she once took for granted. That's why indifference, when authentic, is powerful. It's not an act. It's awareness. You're aware that your value doesn't depend on anyone's validation. You know your mission, your path, and your emotional center. And that kind of man can't be manipulated by attention, flattery, or silence. When a woman senses that, it shakes her emotionally, because it's rare. Most men crumble under pressure. The Stoic man stays composed. He's not heartless, he's disciplined. He chooses connection, but he never clings to it. That discipline becomes magnetic. She feels it in how you move, in how you don't rush to reply, in how your attention is given, not scattered. It's the calm of a man who doesn't need to be chosen to feel complete. Ironically, that's the very man women want to choose. So if you ever feel tempted to over-explain, to chase, or to win her approval, stop, breathe. Remember, attraction grows in the space between desire and control. When you hold back your need for reassurance, you give her the emotional contrast she secretly craves. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel chosen by a man who could walk away, not a man who can't. Your calm detachment doesn't make you cold, it makes you unforgettable. That's the validation reversal. A quiet power that flips the emotional script and leaves her chasing what she once thought she controlled. Number 6, why a man on his mission becomes irresistible. Nothing triggers deeper attraction in a woman than seeing a man who is consumed by his purpose. When a man is truly on his mission, not distracted, not chasing validation, but fully locked into what gives his life meaning, he radiates a kind of energy that women can't ignore. It's not arrogance or ego. It's direction. Most men wander through life waiting for someone to give them purpose. But the high-value man creates it. He wakes up with intention. He moves with clarity. His energy doesn't beg for attention. It attracts it naturally. When a woman meets a man like that, something shifts in her emotionally. She feels that his attention is valuable, that his time has weight. She knows she's not the center of his universe, and that's precisely why she wants to be part of it. A man with purpose doesn't need to chase, because his mission gives him presence, passion, and peace. Even when life tests him, he doesn't collapse, he adjusts, he learns, he grows. That resilience becomes magnetic because it shows emotional depth, the kind that most people never cultivate. Women are wired to feel this energy deeply. It makes them trust, respect, and desire a man without him even trying. And here's the paradox. The more focused you are on your mission, the more emotionally powerful you become. Not because you're ignoring her, but because you're living in alignment with something bigger than yourself. That focus turns every silence into confidence, every absence into intrigue. She begins to see you as a man who has options, not just with women, but with life itself. You have something she can't control: direction. And direction is masculine energy in motion. The reason most relationships fail is that many men trade their purpose for approval. They start prioritizing her emotions over their evolution. But when you reverse that, when you let your mission lead and let love follow, everything changes. She begins to feel safe in your leadership because it's rooted in discipline, not ego. Your goals become part of your aura, a silent reminder that your life isn't dependent on her affection. It's the same energy that ancient warriors carried, calm, focused, and unshakable. And when you embody that, women can sense it even before you speak. Your words hit differently. Your presence feels fuller. Your absence feels heavier. So never abandon your purpose for a temporary connection. Let your mission be your compass. Because when your heart beats for something greater than validation, you become the man every woman remembers, not because you tried to impress her, but because your very existence inspires her. That's the sixth hidden trigger. The magnetic pull of purpose that no woman can truly hide her emotions from. Number 7. Why mastering your feelings makes you magnetic. There's a quiet kind of power that separates men who chase emotions from men who control them. And women feel that difference instantly. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means directing them. When a man can feel deeply yet stay composed, he becomes unpredictable in the most attractive way. Women are emotional by nature. So when they meet a man who can stand steady in the storm, it sparks something primal inside them. A mix of curiosity, safety, and admiration. They sense it in your tone, in your timing, in your calm. You're not reactive. You don't crumble when things go wrong. You don't need to prove your dominance or argue for validation. Instead, you respond from strength. That's emotional mastery. And it's one of the most powerful hidden triggers that women can't hide. Because here's the truth. Women constantly test emotional balance. Not out of cruelty, but instinct. They want to feel that the man they're connecting with has a center that cannot be moved easily. When you can stay calm when she's upset, patient when she's distant, and steady when she's emotional, you silently communicate. I'm in control of myself, and that means you're safe with me. That sense of safety makes her respect you deeply. It tells her you're not at the mercy of emotion. You're the master of it. Most men lose attraction because they lose control. They react too quickly, text too fast, speak from fear instead of power. But when you learn to pause, to observe, to let emotion settle before responding, You create a magnetic tension. It's not coldness, it's depth. You become the calm in her chaos, the silence in her noise. And that contrast awakens something she can't resist. She'll try to read you, to figure out what you're feeling. But your control keeps her guessing, keeps her emotionally engaged. Remember, emotional mastery doesn't mean pretending you don't care. It means caring with discipline. You can express love without losing your balance, show affection without becoming dependent. That's real masculine strength, the ability to feel everything and still remain grounded. When a woman sees that level of composure, she feels both drawn and humbled by it, because deep down she knows a man who can control his emotions can control outcomes. He doesn't get played by circumstances, he shapes them. That's why she'll never forget a man who moves with emotional precision, who can express passion without losing peace. When you reach that level, you don't need to talk about your worth. Your energy says it for you. Your silence becomes your statement. Your composure becomes your charisma. That's the seventh hidden trigger, emotional control, the invisible force that turns ordinary men into unforgettable ones. At the end of it all, understanding women isn't about learning tricks or memorizing lines. It's about mastering yourself. Because every hidden emotional trigger begins with you. When you control your energy, your focus, and your emotions, you naturally awaken something in her that words could never reach. Mystery, admiration, challenge, presence, purpose, vulnerability, and silence. These aren't tactics, they're reflections of inner balance. The more disciplined you become, the more magnetic you feel. Women sense that balance instantly. They can't hide their response to a man who's at peace with himself. He doesn't rush, he doesn't force, he doesn't beg, he simply is. And in that quiet confidence, attraction blooms effortlessly. Think about it. The men who leave the deepest impact aren't the loudest or the most perfect. They're the ones who move with quiet direction. They listen without fear, speak without trying to impress, and walk away when peace is more valuable than attention. Their strength doesn't come from control over others. It comes from control over self. That's what women truly feel but rarely express. It's not the compliments, the gifts, or the pursuit that captures her heart. It's the calm consistency of a man who never loses his center. So, take these 9 emotional triggers and stop viewing them as strategies to manipulate. Instead, see them as mirrors, reflections of what you can master within yourself. Because when you embody these traits naturally, your energy changes everything around you. You'll start to notice how people respond differently, how women pay more attention, how silence starts to work in your favor. You won't need to chase validation anymore, because you'll become the validation. You'll live from purpose, not pressure, from depth, not desire. And here's the real secret. When you stop chasing, the right energy starts chasing you. The woman meant for you won't be drawn to the version of you that performs. She'll be drawn to the version that leads, listens, and lives in alignment with his truth. That's the essence of Stoicism in love. Not suppressing emotion, but mastering it. Not proving worth, but embodying it. So if you're serious about leveling up, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, start with yourself. Build your purpose. Master your silence. Lead your own story. Because once you do, every connection, every relationship, every woman you meet will begin to respond differently. Not because you changed them, but because you changed your energy. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to my channel. Here, we don't teach tricks. We teach transformation. Remember, the greatest power is not in chasing love, but in becoming the kind of man love cannot forget.